Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome. First off, I have no teleprompter to read off of, hence why I have to read my address, and sorry, I'm not a memorizer. But all the words in this address are written by myself. It is very honest and comes from the heart. So we'll start off with, welcome to the 2018 State of the City Address. Good morning and welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming and listening to my second State of the City Address for 2018. 2 years ago today, I had the privilege of starting to serve as your mayor of the great city of Wausau. The second year has gone by even faster than the first, and there are many excellent things happening here in Wausau. So let's get started and talk about the positive things that have happened, as well as some of the things and the challenges that we face in 2018. This is not going to be a message of everything being all sunshine, rainbow, and unicorns. We do have some real issues facing our city, and this is an honest assessment of them. But if we continue to work, communicate, and unify together, the state of our city will continue to be as it really is right now, very, very strong. First, I want to send sincere thanks and to commend and congratulate our previous City Council and Council President Lisa Rasmussen. I'm proud of the positive messages that I hear from constituents and business and community leaders on the way that the mayor and the City Council have worked together and solved problems in a cooperative and respectful way. All of us have listened, respected, and worked well with one another. It did not mean that there were not disagreements or even passionate discussions in the issues that we saw regarding Wausau. There was. But this was truly a very productive and very successful City Council. I'm really excited and looking forward to working closely with the new 2018-2020 City Council and the new members and the veterans on the new council. Now, on several occasions in the past year, I've heard the following similar comment from both residents and from members of the local media when the discussion of transparency and the accessibility of myself, the City Council, and members of our administration was brought up, and all of us working well together. It has been said on many occasions that the City of Wausau government is really rather boring now. I found this comment to be both amusing as well as a compliment, considering the previous destruction that was evident here at City Hall in the past. And you know what? I really appreciate that. One of the biggest issues we had was a difficulty in getting a full staff on board here in the past year at City Hall. I am now happy to report that number one, we are now fully staffed with department heads, and that number two, the culture and attitude of City Hall is now really considered by our employees, department heads, business and community leaders, and residents to be much more positive than before. The morale and attitude change that started in late 2016 has continued to be incredible. And speaking of our employees, our city is so very lucky and fortunate to have a professional, dedicated, and hardworking group of employees that take care of Wausau and its residents. I am truly grateful, and I love my employees, I won't say otherwise. I am truly grateful and appreciative of all of them for their efforts. And just as I stated last year, every day, I am always impressed and very proud of what they do and accomplish. I want to thank all of them for what they do in making our city work and function so very well. Recently, we had, and will have next week, 2 department heads retired from the City of Wausau, both of whom have been a big part of the city's and their department's success. Jeff Hardell, the Chief of Police, retired in February of this year after 38 years of service, and Bill Duncanson from the Parks Department will retire next week after 32 years of service. The service, dedication, professionalism, and the vision that these gentlemen had for their departments is truly appreciated. I thank both of these gentlemen for all that they did for the City of Wausau. And while they would be missed, we had the great opportunity of promoting our Deputy Police Chief, Ben Bliven, to Chief, and in the next 2 weeks we'll be making an announcement in conjunction with Marathon County in the hiring of our new Parks Director. We also hired Tony Vanderboom for our Human Resources Director, and Rick Rubo became our City Assessor, both of whom have moved their departments forward in very positive ways. The Department of Public Works, under the direction of Eric Lindman, has once again done a great job of taking care of our streets, as was proven last weekend. Our infrastructure, and especially our frozen and burst pipes, the DPW continues to complete full reconstruction of local streets to replace aging infrastructure and improve aesthetics within the city. In 2017, 5 local streets were fully reconstructed with full replacement of water, sewer, and stormwater infrastructure. In 2018, 5 more streets will again be reconstructed. In addition to the reconstruction, work staff will be administrating an asphalt overlay and seal coating projects at locations throughout the city. The first phase of the Thomas Street project was completed, which has given way to new business development interests. And now, going in late 2018 and 2019, and after 16 years of discussion and debate, 3 different mayors and 9 different city councils involved, we are now finally moving forward and advancing with the Phase 2 part of the Thomas Street project. Even the critics of this project have stated in the past year the City of Wausau went above and beyond in listening, being respectful, and addressing the needs of those residents that live or rent in that area. We've had more public meetings where we listen and accommodate the wishes of those residents, including changing the plan designs, hiring translators, eliminating medians, and not acquiring as much property and homes had been originally planned. We have also conducted additional soil testing at city expense, as well as letting a small group of residents conduct their own soil testing at locations of their choice with no interference from the city. And though they have stated that they found some more dioxins in the top layer of the soil, we have been told by experts from both the state and the federal governments that deal with such soil removal and remediation treatment of such areas that the complaints and their findings are really an easy and affordable fix. And for the record, while I know that this has been a very emotional and very controversial situation for the residents of that area, I have stated on numerous occasions that if we find something, or if something was to be found that was truly dangerous and could not be dealt with in a professional and scientific way, I would and will stop this project from moving forward. Now, moving on to economic growth. Our local economy is going strong, and because of the low interest rates and interest from developers, contractors, and new businesses, as well as the old establishments here in Wausau, now is the time to act in order to attract just those above-mentioned entities to come or to stay in Wausau. To further move forward the vision of our city and what is needed, not just for the short term, but for 10, 20, 25 years from now. If this is not done, we will remain stagnant with no growth and will eventually fall behind other communities that are currently like us moving forward. If Wausau does not continuously and aggressively go after new business and new development, other communities will certainly do so. In last year's address to you, I had shared that both residential and commercial building permits continued to increase from 2016 into 2017. And 2017 closed as a record all-time high in building permit values with over $137 million worth of new permit values for the city. What is even better was that this record growth was very broad-based. I'm proud that we welcome a record number of new housing starts for both affordable and higher-end housing, as well as a record amount of commercial and industrial development. Yes, we did make a significant move in borrowing more debt, and while there are some residents that have criticized and even attacked the city for this investment, I want everybody to take note that our additional borrowing is entirely being done to move forward infrastructure and to complete long put-off projects like the Thomas Street and Riverfront developments. The investments made are clearly showing the success of this record growth and will continue to do so. More positives here in Wausau. Already now in 2018, ZipRecruiter, which is an internet-based business site, has ranked Wausau as a top 10 employment market, a testament to our many corporate and business partners who continue to expand and grow in our city. The city is now over 700 jobs directly associated with development incentives, and in the past year, we have announced a series of other projects to add even more good, higher paying positions. Think we lost the microphone? Okay, it's good. Supporting families and increasing tax base for our future. Right now under construction in our new business campus on the far west side is a new $80 million Great Lakes cheese facility. And with new businesses slated for development there in the near future, the ongoing expansion of Aspire's Wausau Hospital with a new cancer treatment, as well as our continuing Riverfront Park development, which by the way recently has won several awards. It's won the American Society of Landscape Architects Merit Award and the American Public Works Association Best Project Award, both at the state levels, and just last week won the American Public Works Association Best Project Award in the Small Cities category at the national level. This park build-out will be completed this fall. The Riverfront office and residential development continues to grow and is filling with new tenants and is scheduled for a late spring, early summer 2019 completion. I'm also pleased with some upcoming major downtown expansion projects, which will be announced soon. Folks, these are really exciting times for Wausau. In addition to job growth and commercial developments, the city's strategy to diversify housing choices continue to pay off with major new housing projects across the city. Our new River East townhomes, Wausau's first set of row houses, is now rising on 3rd Street. Wausau's first urban high-end rentals are under construction at the urban west side on Highway U and along the riverfront development, which market analysis from 2016, as well as the pre-purchasing of higher-end housing in those projects, have been shown to be proven to support and demand for that type of housing. We've also added more affordable housing units with the renovation of the Savo Supply Building and the Atrium Lofts. And just last week, we've recently had a developer, Blinker Construction, propose both market rate and affordable housing duplexes along the Thomas Street area. As I have previously mentioned to you, for Wausau to remain competitive, like any other city, we use incentives. This area on Thomas Street is not a land giveaway, as I've heard mentioned by some critics, but really an incentive. It is an area that obviously needs some type of incentive in order for projects to take shape there and make that area attractive to developers. It will bring an estimated $2.5 million for tax-based growth to an area that otherwise would just sit and remain vacant. I'm also happy to announce that the Live It Up Wausau program, homesteading program that was started in late 2016, which helps with low interest loans and getting folks into older homes that are then updated and made to be into nice homes, grew even stronger in 2017. With 30 new projects with down payment loans for homes and done with over 40 business partners participating in helping those folks into existing homes and updating them, which in turn increases tax base for the city and given a sense of home ownership and pride for the families moving into them. Now, I'm also pleased to announce another new housing incentive program starting in 2018 called the Fix It Up Wausau renovation program starting very soon. The Wausau housing market is certainly hot, with record new housing starts in 2017 in the city, yet low inventory of existing homes for sale in our prime areas, many of which have been unfortunately cut up and divided into various rental units over time that are just too expensive to renovate and can impact the whole neighborhood if not done so. Our new Fix It Up Wausau program offers very low interest rates, which will allow a homeowner to undertake a significant restoration of a property, renovate a historic home, and create a landmark for the neighborhood. If you're a homeowner or an interested buyer in a property that would benefit from our major transformation, please contact our Community Development Department at 715-261-6680 for details. Our community continues to grow strong. A year ago, we all came together to support our surrounding communities and especially our local law enforcement following the March 22nd tragedy, and we continue to do so. To Chief Ben Bliven, Deputy Chief Barnes, and all the members of the Wausau Police Department, I say thank you for keeping us safe and protected. We hosted a second meeting of the Mayor's Panel on Hunger and Homelessness, which I started in late 2016, and we brought in as our special guest the State Director Joe Volk to talk about what was being done at the state level and then to address and to bring further attention, awareness and ideas from our local nonprofit homeless and hunger advocates to improve our homeless population issues. We were also told by Mr. Volk that we were the first city in the state to have ever had such a gathering of state and local advocates to discuss this problem and to find hopeful solutions. Also in 2017, I set up the Mayor's Business Advisory Panel, where now over 30 local business owners, bankers, and real estate professionals meet to discuss the pluses and negatives in creating and attracting new business and resident opportunities, and of what can be done in order to make Wausau be better at promoting business opportunities for the future growth of our city. We also contributed to the design and completion of the new mountain bike park north of Sylvan Hill Park, which will contribute to our area's uniqueness and outdoor recreation opportunities. I have pushed hard to get long-standing projects and issues to completion. As mentioned earlier, the city finally completed the Phase 1 of the Thomas Street reconstruction and has now started to move forward with Phase 2. We ended a long-standing litigation with the Village of Maine, and just to update everybody on our legal litigation suits. When I first started as mayor 2 years ago, the city of Wausau was involved in 33 different lawsuits, as well as numerous work grievances and complaints filed here at the City Hall between employees and supervisors. Since that time, we have settled or won 24 cases, and now are only involved in 9 different litigation cases, and we've only had 2 workplace grievances or complaints filed in the last 2 years. We are definitely moving forward in the right direction in working and communicating with other individuals, companies, and communities in trying to resolve our differences before they ever go to court. Our culture continues to be incredibly strong. 2017 marked the city's year of local music and art, and the year was highlighted by such landmarks as the opening of the Museum of Contemporary Art, MoCA, in the former Wausau Club, and I might like to add, for those who like to criticize, with no city funding to complete it. The Wausau River District's successful Art Lives Here mural campaign was completed at numerous different locations throughout the city. Inaugural events like the Wausau Makers Market, the inaugural Sunday's River Valley Jazz concert series along the riverfront behind the library, and the first International Ginseng Festival all started in 2017. An amazing record year of programming at the Grand Theater, which rose in the top 150 theater venues worldwide, and the Ledeoki Woodson Art Museums winning the National Medal for Museum and Library Service. And congratulations to both Sean Wright and Kathy Foley's and their staffs in accomplishing these successes. Just to name a few of the cultural achievements in 2017 that helped make our city so very attractive and so very unique. We recently created and appointed members to a new Mayor's Arts Commission to implement various art projects and grants. The city has and will continue to be proudly supportive of these cultural milestones, and 2018 is now looking very strong again for our arts community. In 2018, I'm going to continue being very aggressive in repositioning difficult properties. I know it's hard to believe, but we do have them. This includes more proactive and aggressive redevelopment planning for the mall and the areas around the mall. And the city is ready to help reposition it into something different, but we cannot and we will not be the only business partner to do so. But with the right business plan, we will help out. We will also continue to work and invest in our urban waterfront, and we are working on an update of the River's Edge Trail Plan and plan on continued investment in housing and neighborhoods. 2017 saw the update of the city's comprehensive plan, and 2018 will include an update of the city's zoning ordinances to improve protections for our homeowners and our neighborhoods. In collaboration with the UW-Madison School of Planning and Landscaping, we have begun the visioning of the next phase of our riverfront work north of Bridge Street at the existing Wausau Chemical and Great Lakes Cheese sites. In order to show what we are envisioning in that area for possible redevelopment in the future, there will be a public presentation that will take place on Tuesday, April 24th from 4 to 6 p.m. here at the City Hall lobby to share the initial draft plans, which continue to be refined for the 10 acres of new opportunity on our north riverfront in the years to come. In the early summer of 2018, we will also be going through an extensive facilities plan of our water and sewer departments to prepare for future improvements and rehabilitation of those facilities, which will be the basis for ensuring that the city continues to receive high-quality drinking water and adequate sanitation service well into the future. As always, we'll keep everybody informed of these developments as they happen. Here now comes the good part. Now let me address the debt that the city has taken on. Truthfully, no matter who had been elected mayor or on the city council, we are going to have to address debt issues from before that should have been taken care of. The city had allowed itself to get behind on staffing, training, and infrastructure to the point where some points and items were critical and investments needed to be made. Prior to 2016, previous city councils were reluctant to take bold steps that were really needed. One challenge now facing the city is the increased debt load and the related downgrade by Moody's Financial Rating Services. I do not deny that the city's debt burden has been increased, but the good news is that the city is in a positive economic growth cycle. We are investing heavily in our riverfront, as are all riverfront communities throughout America, and developing future industrial sites in the new industrial business campus. The city, by investing in infrastructure, will be helping support business growth, which in turn attracts new business and commerce, new jobs, new residents, and a bigger tax base. Because infrastructure is the first investment, the city has to take a risk. The city's debt payments come due immediately, while it takes time for properties to develop. Moody's reacted to a new policy created by them of reviewing debt and related deficits and reduced our credit rating. But we are not the only community to experience such a credit rating downgrade. Other communities, including locally, have experienced this new situation as well. The city's AA3 credit rating remains a very strong credit rating. Interest rates have remained very low, and as the tax base and new development growth occurs, the city will revisit our credit rating with Moody's. Another financial factor rated by Moody's is the city's financial reserves, and we've continued good news in this area. The city has experienced budget surpluses in each of the last 3 years. The surplus strengthens the city's financial position and provides stability in periods of economic buildup and unexpected significant events. In other words, folks, we're doing fine. As stated before, this is a short-term investment in our long-term future payoff. And again, if we do not commit to doing what is right for the long-term economic growth of our city, we will be left behind while other communities grow at our expense. Folks, you have to have the hope, faith, belief, and especially the patience to see this through. Yes, it will take some time, but it really is the right path for us to take in order to remain strong and competitive into our future. And the vision of 10 to 20 to 25 years from now will be shown to be proven right. And for the record, it was a very well thought out plan, brought into the public's knowledge with approval by city staff, the city council, and the joint review board, who all agreed that yes, it was an excellent plan and should be brought forward to be implemented. Wausau continues and needs to continue to attract outside investment, embrace new growth, and be welcoming to new and diverse ideas, because if we do not, again, other communities definitely will. I really do appreciate the courage and the wisdom it took for city staff and for the city council to move ahead with this measure for our future. Again, the state of the city is very, very strong. And that's it. I'm really pleased with the progress of Wausau and how things are moving forward. Yes, like every other city, we have our issues, some that are very difficult, troublesome, and very complex to fix immediately, but we will continue to work together in doing so. We all live here by choice. The choice of good schools, parks, recreation, and the overall beauty of our region. We are big enough and yet small enough in comparison to other places. And it is honestly continuing to be getting better in so very many ways. Thanks to all of you for listening, and always know that I'm very accessible and open-minded from hearing from residents on any issue that affects them. Again, I am very happy and very proud that we have moved Wausau forward in such a positive, peaceful, and progressive way. To my friends, my parents, my kids, Matt, Joe, and Taylor, and especially my best friend and biggest supporter, my wife, Sherry, who always loves and supports and takes care of me no matter what. I thank and I love all of you.